think of this place, Scott? What do you think of this place?
All right, fourth flight doing it 2:45. Boat 52, Scott Ellison. 53, Billy Hines. Looks good. 54, Mike Caruso. Mike Caruso. Mike Caruso, 54, 55, Rich Sauber. 56, Don Griffin. 58, Cody Thompson. 59, Bradley Yang. 62, Ricky. Michael Ricky. 63, John Noble. 63. 64, Dave Freeman. Whatever. 65, Marco Valdez. 245, guys. 68, Cody Smith. 66, sorry. 67, Bob Park. Now 68, Jay Gooderty. 68, Jay Gooderty. Make the layup. 245, guys. Good flight, good talk, good 29, good chase. Good chase. 70, Brian Parnahan. 71, Mark Savania. 72, Ed Edward. 23, Sean Bailey. Go ahead, Pete. 74, Hood Hendrick. 75, Terry Dobbins. 76, Guy. 77, Tom Leadham. 3 o'clock, guys. Tom Leadham. 78, Dave Windridge. 3 o'clock, guys. 79, Robert.
So thanks to you guys. It was awesome. Also want to thank Bass Pro Shops, Dobbins Rods, Maximum Fishing Line, Baskin Clothing, and Billy and One Bass. Awesome job. Thanks. Good job.
Pete Marino, folks. All right, here we go. In 8th place with 24.67 pounds. Blinding me as mom is with a flash. Good for $7,410 with 24.67 pounds. Yet another Bridgeford sponsored anglers, Mr. Joe Uribe Jr. Jerry Joe.
Well, I can tell you had a great week. You know, it's always fun coming out here to Lake Mead, and it's always a grind, but most of us that have been out here in this lake expect it, and had a good time. Had a great time with my co-anglers as well, and had fun running around there. My Ranger Z521, I tell you, I love it. I love that boat. So, want to thank Brad, Al, all the guys who made it up for Bridgeford. You know, it's awesome to see all the guys that came and to support this event, and how many checks we got already. That's a pretty good deal. But Brad's first event as a co-angler, he did a great job out there, braved it out. Good job, Brad. Want to thank a few of my other sponsors, Daiwa, Bob Lewis Machine Shop, Adoption Awareness. I don't know if Bob Noakley's out there, I see Brent Becker out there, but thank you guys. You know, Boss Weights, Reaction Innovation, and of course my family, my wife and kids back home. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. So other than that, had a great event. I'll let you key in on what I caught them on today. I tried 3 different flavors this week, and Sweet Baby Ray's, the Honey Chipotle is what I caught them on. So just wanna let you guys know that, all right? So make sure you guys check out your local Albertsons, Walmarts. Good stuff. You guys gotta check it out. Thanks again.
Joe Uribe, folks, give him a round of applause. All right, let's move on down the list. In 7th place with 25.25, good for $8,410. Your 7th place pro, Mr. Scott Davis. Come here, Scott. So, 8th place, huh?
It's good. I want to thank those who sponsor me. I want to thank One Bass. I also want to thank my wife and family for letting me do this. And I have my youngest daughter. One of you can say hello, Mackenzie. I love you very much. And I'll be home as soon as I can.
Hey, what kind of boat did you get 8th place out of?
My Bass Tracker Protein 190.
Wow. Isn't that rad?
Oh yeah, I had a ride Monday. My co-angler, I didn't think they were going to make it, but we did. It's a long run for 45 minutes for 4 miles. And we spent a lot of time in the air, and some people witnessed it. Steve Pike, he was like, you got some wet the cojones. And I enjoyed it. I will be back next year. I've met some good people and made some good friends.
Scott Davis, folks, congratulations, buddy. All right, and 6th place with 25.33 pounds, good for $9,410. Mr. Tony Hay! Get on up here. What are you sitting so far away for? Tony, good job, buddy. Way to go. Let's come on over and get your check and your trophy. All right. Tony, you want to say a little something about this week?
You know, just real quick, I won't be too take too long here. Today I had a kind of a strange incident where my fuel gauge didn't communicate with my gas tank, and I ran out of gas. I was way up in Greg's Basin, and I'll say probably 7 boats came past me. All 7 of them stopped to help me, so that's awesome. Each one of them, I asked them, hey, if you're in contention for a check, just go ahead until the next guy comes, and somebody eventually told me. So I got told to Temple Bar, and I got some gas, and I was able to fish for maybe 30 more minutes, and called out 1 more fish, so that was cool. 7 guys stopped, 7 guys went by me, and 7 guys stopped, so that's cool. I want to thank Anglers Marine, #1, Ranger Boats, Mercury Marine, Motor Guide. Great event. I had probably the best practice I ever had at Lake Mead. I put a couple pictures on Facebook and got hassled for it because you're not supposed to hook them in practice. I backed it up. Thank you very much. Put a 4-pounder picture on Facebook and went back to that same spot. Day number 2, and my co-angler was throwing a walking bait right behind me, and he smashed a big one. He got his $1,000, so that's all good. Everybody's happy. Thank you very much. Great event. Thank you very much.
Down the lane, folks. All right, guys, we're down to the top 5. Top 5, 2014 Juan Bass US Open Pros with 25.80 pounds, good for $10,410. No stranger to the US Open, Mr. John Murray! Johnny, come on over here, bud. Good to have you here. Good to see you in the top 5. Tell everybody a little bit about this week.
Well, it's interesting. I had the worst year of tournament fishing I've ever had this year, so coming out here was like a breath of fresh air. When you go home, it changes everything, and that's really what I do. The beautiful thing about Lake Mead, it is the most fair lake in the entire country. There's not, well, I've fished all over the country. Jay, all of us, Scott, we all know this is the fairest lake in the country. There is no one spot a guy can go win this tournament. So I think that's the beauty of this lake for tournaments. Rick Clun said that for years. I have to thank Bridgeford first. Thank you for bringing us out here. I mean, it's always great to have companies like that sponsor. My sponsors, Cabela's, Ranger, Lucas Oil, Protect the Harvest. Man, if you like to eat steaks, if you like farming, look up protecttheharvest.com. It'll show you a lot. Anyway, Lou's, LaRue, River to Sea, AdvancedAngler.com. I mean, I got great sponsors, and I want to thank them all. Congratulations for Clifford. I always said he's probably going to be the first 4 time. He gets second every year, except this year he wins again. So congratulations, Clifford, and that's about it. Thank you.
John Murray, go ahead and stay right here so we get a picture of the top 5. All right, moving on to 4th place. On the pro side, this is one hell of a guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always got a handshake there waiting with 26.54 pounds, good for $10,410. Mr. Brett Allen Lieber. All right, we got your trophy, we got your check. Top 5, tell us about it.
Well, I had some real good co-anglers this week, and they did a good job. I don't have a lot of sponsors. I fish for the competition and for the fun. I own a construction company and been doing this since 1989 was my first tournament that I fished as a pro. And met a lot of nice people, and my family is my #1 supporters. My friends that pre-fish with me are all dedicated anglers from our hometown in Dixon. Billy Jim Wentworth, neighbor Bob, Greg Pryor, my son Carson, who is probably one of the best anglers I've ever seen for his age. He'll be up here fishing next year. So we'll see what happens. Also Dobbins Rods and Gone Fish Marine. That's my 2 sponsors. Thank you.
Brett Lieber, folks. All right, here we go. In 3rd place, good for $10,410 with 28.46 pounds, Mr. Gabe Boulevard. Gabe, we're sorry about that, but when we were coming out here, 3rd place it was a glass trophy, it broke. They were supposed to ship one out here, didn't get here in time. We know where you live, we're gonna get it to you, but come on up here, get your check. We can buy you a couple trophies with that. Or I'll buy you a trophy. Gabe, hell of a job. Way to see you come back like this. Tell the folks a little bit about your week.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I love this tournament. I've been coming to Lake Mead for a long time. It's probably the best lake fishing tournament on, like John said. Everybody's equal. You got to cover a lot of water. That's what I did all week. I fished from the back of Greg's Basin to 3/4 of the way up to Overton. burned a ton of gas. You know, I got to thank Ranger. They're one of my best sponsors. They build, I believe, the best boat out there. There's absolutely no question. I'm really fortunate to be able to run it. Mercury motor, just absolutely awesome. All the guys at Anglers Marine for coming out here and putting everyone's boat back together. That first day was brutal. That day I ran from Greg's Basin all the way to Overton, you know, during that storm. So I was fortunate to be able to have that boat and motor. I caught my fish on, literally I had 12 rods on my deck. I was kind of a junk fishing deal. I caught them on crankbaits, caught some fish on a frog, a swim bait. First day caught a lot of fish on buzz baits. I had great partners, my AAAs, everyone contributed. I weighed a fish from them every single day, so I was really fortunate to have that. I couldn't have done it without them. And I want to thank One Bass for putting on such a great tournament. My wife for flying out here. Congratulations, Clifford. I'm jealous. I hope one day I win this thing. I've always wanted to win this tournament, so I'll keep coming back. And all the great fishermen for coming out and supporting everybody. And it really is great. I haven't fished a lot, and I really look forward to coming to this tournament, and I'm glad that all these guys showed up and fished. So, thanks everybody.
Hey, Boulevard hosts, congratulations. Also, take one of these Plano tackle boxes for third place and second place. Also get a Plano tackle systems. Got some good stuff in there for you. All right, we're moving on down to second place with 28.70 pounds. How much does that stand for? $20,410. But that's not all. That's not all. Gets a nice crystal award here. And because he happens to be the top finishing pro that does not currently have a sunglass sponsor, this angler has won the Costa sponsor package for a year through Juan Bass. He earns a boat wrap from Costa, a truck wrap from Costa, 10 pairs of glasses, logo wear, free entry into the 2015 US Open and the California Open at Clear Lake. Your second place finisher with 28.70 pounds, Mr. Tom Big Daddy Whoa! 20,000. You got a new sponsor now too.
Yeah, I like to get one of them Bridgeford's hats too, man. Those things are awesome. Well, Costa, thanks a lot. I'm not much of a public speaker, but first of all, I want to congratulate Clifford Purse. I told him he shouldn't be here. I told him before the tournament started that he shouldn't be here, and if he wasn't here, we know what would have happened. Secondly, Alex Sindner, I want to congratulate you on your first place finish. My AAAs, Conrad Demikas, Dominique Amato, and Vumi Vu. Those are my AAAs, and those guys were awesome. We had we really had a great tournament all 3 days. We really had a lot of fun. In fact, I turned on a little music after 10 o'clock after we had our limit. We could listen to music for the rest of the day. 20 US Opens ago, in 1994, I actually finished third place. So I'm thinking it's 2014, so by 2034, I should have this thing wired. And speaking of wired, I want to thank my wife. She was there in 94, and she's been there for me through all these tournaments. I've got a 2004 Ranger with almost 700 hours on the road. And it just keeps on ticking. I'm like Rusty Brown. Everybody passes Rusty on the way up, going like 50 miles an hour. I take mine at 55, so I actually passed Rusty on the first day. As far as the fishing went, like Gabe was saying, we actually caught a fish on just about every rod that we had out from Alabama. The only thing we didn't catch a fish on was a worm. We did catch one on a tube, but we caught them on A-rigs, chatterbaits, Joe Uribe special. If he wants to tell you, I'll let him, but I'm not going to relinquish that bait. And jerk baits, poppers, you name it, we caught it today. It was a really a banner day. And lastly, I just want to thank my Lord Jesus Christ for allowing me to be here. I don't want to keep you guys much longer. If you guys want to know about my sponsors, you can read them on Facebook or you can look at them on my jersey. But my entry fee actually was paid by Thunder Energy Drink, so I definitely want to give them a shout out. So that's it. Thank you.
Todd Woods, folks, second place finisher, Pro Division, 2014 U.S. Open. And the Costa sponsor for a year package. Good job, Todd. Go ahead and get over there. Now, we've got one more to go. We got a pretty trophy right here, and a beautiful engraved championship watch, and a check. But before I do that, I want to say one more time thank you to all of you guys. 167 boats at the 2014 U.S. Open was huge. Having 126 pros signed up before the early bird July 31st this year was huge. All this great stuff, and a 3-time tournament U.S. Open champion. Your winner, your champion for 2014, Mr. Clifford Burns! They're standing, buddy, they're standing. Good job, my friend, good job.
Fortunate to be standing here. You know, there's so many great fishermen in the room, and it's really hard to be the guy. You know, I was just really blessed with a good start. You know, crazy day one, big wave, and you know, it just kind of a miracle day. So I recognize that any of these guys could have been standing here if they'd have made the couple stops that I made, you know, that day one. So I was really fortunate. I want to thank my sponsors. Excuse me, I want to thank my sponsors and my wife. You know, she hasn't been to a tournament in a while, so it's really a great week to have her with me and be able to enjoy the week with my wife. You know, that was really neat and made it an extra special week this week. But also Phoenix rods. I've got two new favorite rods. If you haven't tried it, the 7.7, the MBX. The medium heavy and the heavy, they're great rods, man. They do so much. And they've got so many rods, it took me till this year to even try them, but they're just great. Adoption Awareness is a new sponsor of mine, and they actually got my entry this year because of the big fish, I think, from last year. But we just one of my new sponsors, and I'm excited about that going forward. And A&M Graphics, Andrew's here, and he had a great week. I know a lot of folks here, you know, use them for their boat wraps, and they do a great job. If you've seen my wrap, some of the things on there were me that I put on. He wanted to not claim some of that wrap. It was actually me putting them on in the parking lot, but they do a great job. And also. Dixie Pack Tires and Wheels. You know, I went through a set of tires this year, and they really helped me out, so that was good. And a Skeeter and Yamaha. If you haven't ridden in a Skeeter in the last few years, not only are they fast, they're really good in this rough water out here. So man, it's just made it a pleasure to be able to drive around the lake. But I know everybody's been, you know, ready to go, and it's been a long week, but you know, I'll talk a little bit about the fishing. My day one deal, this is how I know I was really lucky. I mean, I give the glory to God on this deal, because you know, you can't get cocky about a win when plan A and plan B don't work out, and you just happen to do plan C kind of at the end of the day, and you just happen to catch them. You know, when the stuff you plan on doing doesn't work out, and then you just kind of roll into this little deal, and all of a sudden you just jack them and make 3 good stops. You know, that's pretty crazy. You can't really, you know, just pretty lucky to have that happen. So you know, that's really what carried me this week. And you know, day one, I caught a nice limit throwing a Texas rig. I thought I could go in and catch 10 pounds, and really didn't. It was maybe 7 or 8 pounds, and went and caught a big drop shot fish about maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then that, it just got worse and worse, that weather, and that really makes those big fish, a little more active, a little more catchable here. And I caught 3 big ones cranking, and just a shad crankbait, and that was my day 1, and day 2 I had to scramble a little bit. I stayed close because of the weather, and really didn't want to break anything and be able to kind of go the distance in this deal, and drop shot at some fish, throwing a robo worm, and kind of that was my weakest day, probably just because of my decision making. But today I ran a long ways and found some washes that had flash flooded, and it took me till about 10 o'clock. I didn't have a fish in the boat, but after about 10, and maybe from 10 to 1, I caught about 25 fish, all flipping a jig, just trash, just looking for trash that had flash flooded. And these desert lakes, they don't get rain very often, so when it really happens like that, junk comes in, and those weeds grow up, it all flows in, and I just happened to hit a couple good little stretches, and that was all on flipping jig today. So that was kind of my week. I feel real fortunate again, and
On behalf of Bassboat, Pro Shop, Nitro Boats, we're real excited to be involved in such a phenomenal tournament. It's a great event every year. It's been fun watching you the last couple of years. But we want to say congratulations. I know you're a skater guy, but congratulations from Nitro and Bassboat. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a great event. I feel really fortunate. I know it's really hard to be the guy that wins. Thank you. I understand it could have been a lot of people. So
We just joined the class with Mike Folkstad and Aaron Martin for a 3-time U.S. Open champion, folks. Our winner, our 2014 champion, right here at the cup, your winner, Tracy Purdy! Clifford Purge. I always get the two of you mixed up and hang out so much. Clifford Purge, your winner, folks. All right, thank you very much for being with us. We look forward to seeing you in 2015. Drive home safe, be careful. We'll see you soon.